Hi and welcome back. Today I want to talk about prosperity because if you're not feeling the fulfillment and joy that you thought would come from your success, then although you've got financial security, you're not actually prosperous. You see, you can have all the material things in the world, but if you haven't got the happiness and the peace with the success that you have, then you haven't actually got prosperity. But prosperity is the goal, right? You want the success of the financial freedom, but you also want the happiness and the peace of mind that lets you enjoy that success. So, how do we go from being successful in the eyes of society to actually being prosperous in the fullest definition of the word? Well, it starts by looking beneath the surface of our success. Hi, I'm Janet Mohapi-Banks. I'm a best-selling author of my book, The Habits for Happiness, and I'm a transformational happiness coach for high achievers and soul seekers who wake up feeling empty despite their outward success. So if you would like a taste of how my work can help you too, I invite you to join me in my free 14-day mini course, Rewire Your Brain for Happiness. You'll find the link in the description. You see, prosperity isn't something that you earn through effort. It's something that you experience through alignment. And alignment begins with your beliefs. The reason so many high achievers feel exhausted or anxious, even after making it, is because the beliefs driving their success are often rooted in fear. Fear of losing it all, fear of being judged, fear of not being enough, fear of imposter syndrome. But those beliefs don't just affect how we think, they shape how we feel, how we act, and ultimately what kind of life we allow ourselves to experience. So if we want true prosperity, the kind that includes not only the financial success, but also the joy, peace, and freedom to enjoy what we've built, then we need to go back to the roots. And that means understanding the belief cycles that are driving our entire experience of life. Now, I first learned about this cycle of behavior many, many moons ago through T. Harv Eker. It's something that David Bayer teaches now, and it's also taught in foundational CBT models. The cycle goes: beliefs create your thoughts, thoughts create feelings, feelings create actions, actions create results, and results then reinforce the beliefs, right? So changing any one of those things will change the entire cycle. But you quickly learn that the most important cog in that cycle is your beliefs. So in any given situation, you get to ask yourself what you believe to be true. But to really dig into the meat of the matter, you get to separate that cog of belief into 4 separate beliefs. So you ask yourself what you believe to be true about you, about others, about the world in general, and also what is true about whatever you perceive to be the higher force. Call it source, God, universe, whatever. Because that belief at the top of the cycle encompasses all 4 of these beliefs. So let me take you through a quick example. Imagine that you're really tired and there's still a mountain of work that could be done, right? So what do you believe to be true about you? Do you believe that if you don't get it done, then you'll be falling behind? That not doing it means that you're lazy? Or maybe you have a belief that says if you allow yourself to rest, you'll do a better job tomorrow. Now, let's apply that same scenario for what you believe to be true about other people. So maybe you believe that other people are judging you badly by having all this work still to do, or that somebody is already waiting to take over your job and willing you to fail, or maybe you have a belief that other people are able to support you and are willing to help. And now the same scenario for your beliefs about the world as a whole rather than as individuals, which goes into the other people category, right? So maybe you have a belief that the world is a cutthroat place and it's survival of the fittest, or that the job market is really hard right now, so you've got to cling on to your job. Or maybe you have a belief that the world is inherently good and always supports you. And finally, the belief you have about a higher power. Do you believe in a spiteful and vengeful deity that wants you to suffer to prove your worthiness? Or do you believe that you are lovingly guided and a vessel for infinite intelligence to be made manifest through you? Can you see how the combination of these beliefs are creating the life that you're living, right? Please forgive the interruption. I was wondering if you could do me a massive favor. As you've got this far in the video, please could you give it a like and leave a purple heart in the comments to help teach the algorithm who to show this work to. I think it's a bit confused right now, so I really appreciate you doing that. Thanks again. I'll take you back to your video now. If we take the first example in each of these beliefs, you're going to keep overworking because you're scared of being judged badly and falling behind. You're scared of losing your job in a difficult job market, and you're scared of upsetting a vengeful God, right? So everything you do will be done out of fear. And when fear is the lens that you view everything through, your body stays in a heightened state of survival. It's not that a single belief flips a switch in your brain, but over time, the emotional patterns those beliefs generate create a physiological pattern, either stress or regulation. And that's how beliefs shape the nervous system. So those first set of beliefs will have you locked into a sympathetic nervous system state with high levels of cortisol, and a psychological state of hypervigilance where you're constantly on the lookout for danger. But if we take the last example in each of those belief system scenarios, then you'll be rested, so you won't be so stressed. You'll be asking for help when you need it. And you'll know that the world is supportive, and you get to do your greatest work by opening up to the infinite intelligence that is working through you. And that means that you'll be in a parasympathetic state, which is conducive to your ultimate well-being. This idea that beliefs shape our nervous system patterns is echoed in polyvagal theory, which explains how our internal sense of safety or threat determines whether we operate from survival or connection. With the latter, you approach everything with a different energy and frequency than the former. You're open to receiving the prosperous life you want instead of being detached from it through fear. And for many high achievers, this is the choice that we eventually get to make. Michael Beckwith talks about the stages of consciousness, which is to me, by me, through me, and as me. The majority of high achievers don't work through a to me consciousness. To me is very stuck in a state of victimhood, things happening to us. We rarely accept that because we're the ones that take the bull by the horns and we make stuff happen, right? Which is a by me consciousness. Now, when we create success in a by me consciousness, we believe that we're the only ones doing the creating and we're the only ones that can actually get the job done. But because of those beliefs, we also believe that if we take our foot off the pedal, even for a moment, it means that we could lose everything that we have, which puts us into a state of permanent fear. But if we switch that belief and choose to believe that we're always supported and that the ideas that we have didn't originate with us, but instead come from our highest to be lived through us, we start operating from a through me consciousness. And eventually we move into an as me consciousness where there's no separation between us and infinite intelligence. We all tend to go in and out of these states of consciousness from time to time. But when we're living predominantly in the through me consciousness, we realize that we can let go of the fear because we are always supported. That doesn't mean that we don't have a role to play. We get to take the aligned action that we'll be drawn to when we open ourselves to receiving the guidance, We become our own safety nets because we know that everything comes to us and through us from a higher power. That's when we can lean into the gratitude and appreciation of life that lowers our cortisol and releases our nervous system from its state of fight, flight, or freeze. We show up differently, so people around us respond differently to us. Because we are more relaxed, they are more relaxed. Because we believe that the world is inherently friendly, we get to experience a friendly world. We experience that which we are, and that which we are is governed by our belief systems and our state of consciousness. So if we want to manifest a prosperous life filled with the peace and happiness that should come with our success and achievements, we need to work on our beliefs, our state of consciousness, and of course, our nervous system, so we have the capacity to receive the expansion of the dream life we're manifesting. So those are your 3 areas to focus on. Number 1 is your belief systems, which affect the whole cycle of behavior and incorporate psychology and mindset work. Number 2 is your state of consciousness, which is spirituality, right? Your connection to a higher power. And number 3 is regulating your nervous system, which is neuroscience and the physiological effects of your emotional responses. And to get you started on that journey, I recommend joining me in my free 14-day mini course, Rewire Your Brain for Happiness. It goes into the neuroscience, the psychology, spirituality, and manifestation techniques that allow you to return to who you were before the stress and pressure to perform. It's a great place to start doing this work and changing your life for the better. You'll find the link in the description. And if you missed it, this video tells you how to manifest the dream life you've been talking about. So click there to watch that now. I look forward to seeing you in my community, and if I don't, well, just know that you've got this, and I'll see you next time. Bye.